No, I think that there are multiple ways to influence, right? And one is through, frankly, some of the smartest people that I've worked with in my career. They never state facts, they ask questions. But by asking questions to people who are really smart on the business, it causes them to go think about things differently. And I think that is an amazing influence tactic. I think the other thing that's an amazing influence tactic that, again, finance leaders tend to have a little bit of a better access to this data is how can we ensure alignment around the actual core data that, we think we're looking at data that says X, Y, and Z, but, maybe this filter is off and that filter is off. So let me just really clarify, like, what is the data we're looking at? And is this data telling the story that we wanted to tell? And so I think just bringing facts consistently to bear in a very consistent manner. Every month we look at the same thing. We're going to measure it consistently. We can debate whether the measurement should be slightly different, but as long as we're measuring it consistently month over month, like, we'll be able to sort of have a trend line. So I think there's lots of different ways of influence. And, when I was at KKR Capstone, I would be sort of quote unquote dropped into some of these companies that were our portfolio companies. And although sometimes I had kind of a role in a team and it was much more kind of traditionally structured, I often would be more of a consultancy advisor type of person. And so, I think I learned in that role, how can I best add value, right? I mean, I could sit around and sort of just be a consultant there and not add value, unfortunately, but like that wouldn't have been a very fulfilling job for me. And so I really, I feel like that influence style where it's kind of saying, like, listen, I'm noticing this. I could be wrong, but here's like the notice, here's the pattern that I'm seeing and happening. Like, how do you explain this pattern? Or, here's the pattern I'm seeing now. And when I look back to last year at this exact same time, this was the pattern that we all observed. Can I shine a flashlight on this change? Right. And what does that mean? And I think these are situations where for each of us, we're all busy and we don't always have time to take a step back and look at the data in a certain way. And so I think it's important to do that. And I think that, again, if you're surrounded by a team of people, all of whom want the best for the company and who are humble and low ego and trust each other, then this actually is seen as a real positive. People appreciate that. And I appreciate it when people do it to me and look at, hey, I've noticed that your revenue team does X, Y, and Z or whatever, right? So I think it can go both ways.
We don't have a lot of time left, Sarah, so we have only moments to ask you about something most people don't know about you. What would that be?
Something most people don't know about me. I'll tell you a lot of things that at least some people know about me, but certainly not any of your listeners. I have a set of 6-year-old twin boys who keep me very busy. I think it's the ultimate multitasker. I also think about it as, having twins is sort of like 2 birds with 1 stone. So it was also the efficient way to have 2 children, which people laugh at me given my love of efficiency. I used to play basketball in college. And so I grew up as an athlete and, love sports, did it from a very early age. And I think that for me, athletics, I went to a school that had a very good athletic program and also a very good academic program. I used athletics, frankly, to get into the best school from an education perspective that I could get into. And I continued to play a sport because I always felt like by, playing a varsity sport, committing to that part in university made me also commit more strongly to my academics because I kind of had to be, in order to get everything done, I kind of had to be focused and efficient. And I think it plays out well as you get older. There's something that you learn when playing a team sport and the resiliency of, losing sometimes, even though you wish you won and getting back up the next day and, practicing harder. And I think those, those lessons, kind of continue to go on in life, even when, I'm well past my playing fitness level now. But, I think that it continues, I kind of like will always be a competitive athlete at heart, even if I'm no longer really competing anywhere. And so for me, this, I think about the stuff I do outside of work with my family or kind of, even in athletics, as being things that are also make me more well-rounded, but also kind of do make me, I hope, better at my job. You don't raise twins if you're not sort of thinking about prioritizing and efficiency and everything else. And certainly prioritization efficiency is a huge part of the office of CFO as well. And I think this desire to win, to compete and to win and to be resilient is also an important part of the office of CFO, right? We're out there trying to inspire our own teams. We're out there talking about our business with outside stakeholders. And I think people do respond to a little bit of that energy of people who are like, just put me in a position. I might not know the answer right away, but I'll keep fighting until we get to the answer. And I think people kind of who are good at doing that, a lot of them tend to be former athletes or other experiences that cause them to have sort of a great amount of kind of resiliency and drive.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. We are up to our final question, and I appreciate all the extra details. We're going to ask you again to look forward, which we like to always end by doing. The next 12 months as CFO Tipalti, what are your priorities?
Yeah. No, I think it's a really important thing to always be looking forward, frankly. Tipalti is at this we're at a pivotal junction in the company's growth. We have shown product market fit. We have a large installed base of customers that we continuously grow and grow. There's a massive TAM, massive white space opportunity ahead of us. And over the last 6 quarters, we have continuously gotten stronger from a profitability, economics perspective as we've continued to grow top line at frankly faster than market levels. And so but it is really actually this idea of building efficiency, building a profitability mindset. And every quarter we've made big improvements on that, kind of in this, when we look back at the metrics, it's like a ladder, and it's an improving ladder. And it's been so consistent every quarter that it has built credibility with our outside stakeholders of our ability to deliver and deliver and deliver. And we've got a few more quarters of needing to do that to get to the place that I think Tipalti needs to be at to take sort of our next big step and milestone as a company. But we've shown a really good track record. It's been consistent over time. And that helps not only build credibility with others, but also internally in the company. Employees sort of understand what we're building towards. And I think that's important. I think the next year, generally, if I take a little bit of a step away from Tipalti, the next year, generally, it's going to be really interesting the ways in which AI come into play in the office of the CFO. For Tipalti, we have built in a number of AI tools inside of our platform. We're using AI to make auto coding of invoices even more efficient. We're using it in a number of other ways to do data discovery inside of our platform and the like. And so the ways in which the technology vendors that we all use in our tech stacks take AI, take the best parts of that, embed it into the already great technologies that we're used to using just to help all of us become faster, better, and more insightful about our jobs is going to be really important. And, I think those investments that we're making into the platform for our customers and that we continue to make, in fact, we've built out teams that are just doing this across our platform, will continue to sort of push the capabilities, the robust capabilities that we have in the platform forward. And so I'm really excited to see how AI continues to change how the Office of CFO thinks about, kind of how to be effective in the role. And excited that Tipalti gets to be a little piece of how that happens.
Sarah Spoja, thank you for joining us on CFO Thought Leader.
Thank you.